What's going on, everybody? We are here for another Wednesday night. It's just me and Stacy for tonight, but welcome to Sunshinery. Jackie has to work. I hope everybody's having a great week. How are you doing, Stacy?
I'm doing very well, but as the same as last week, I've discovered I actually don't have that much to rant about if it's not traffic related
I well,
or
I mean,
coffee.
coffee and traffic seems to be what we always go back to. I was like laying in my hotel room bed and thinking to myself, why is there not a Starbucks on every corner in America? Like there needs to be one on every block, right? Cuz sometimes they're just too far away.
So we stayed at the cheaper resort for Universal. And when I say cheaper, I do not mean cheap, but cheaper resort at Universal Studios one year. And they have a Starbucks in the lobby. So the next year, I was like, hey, let's stay at a little bit nicer one because it comes with the express passes. You don't have to pay extra.
Right.
And so I was like, let's stay at the nicer one. And we get to this nice one, we get checked in, and I'm like, where's the Starbucks? And they're like, oh, we don't have one. And I was so offended. I was like, I paid more for a hotel without a Starbucks?
That would have ruined my whole trip. I would have been like, if we cannot DoorDash Starbucks right now, I'm leaving and going home. That's it.
I was making my husband get up at the crack of dawn and go like ride the boat over to the city walk, get me a Starbucks and bring it back. Basically it was all his fault. He was the one that wanted the fast passes. I don't mind going through the single rider line because I don't care who I'm sitting next to for 30 seconds.
True. And are the fast passes faster?
They absolutely were.
Yeah, like
Now,
maybe by like 30 minutes, right? They could probably
yes.
cut 30 minutes to an hour off your wait.
The best part though is you get to look at everybody else as you walk past them in line.
Well, yeah, that's great. It's like pre-check with TSA
Yeah,
at the airport,
and
which it's
you get to give a smug look to every person like, yep.
yeah. Well, I also do that in the car when people can't see me when I'm driving in the toll express lanes and I'm passing all of the traffic that's at a dead stop and I'm like, haha, bitches, I'm going, you know. And I'm
That's
thinking like, oh yeah, they totally hate me right now because they ain't me and they don't know, they don't even see me, they don't care. But in that moment, I feel like I'm king of the world.
and that's exactly how it felt with the fast passes. Is exactly that feeling. You're like, yep, I get to do whatever I want.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is definitely better to have them, but
And
how
then
do we get a Starbucks in the hotel and fast passes? This is the ultimate goal.
that's what I was saying. I was like, okay, so it looks like you guys are building another area, so you'll probably build a resort closer to that, like you do the other ones. And this one needs to make sure it has a Starbucks.
Yeah, there's a bunch go well, actually the hotel across from me right now, I'm actually pretty close to Universal Studios in this hotel because we're kind of near the airport and that they're building it's so funny. Like it's a Hilton, but I'm in a Hilton and they're building a Hilton right next door. So, and it's going to be a bigger one that has like the what's it called? Room service because a lot of these hotels don't have that now, but I don't know.
Yes,
Orlando's
Snoop, I
getting
would pay an extra $100 a night for a Starbucks fast pass where they delivered me a Starbucks every morning to my door.
there is no limit to the amount of money that I will pay to be lazy and have what I want when I want it. So if it's at my fingertips, the sky's the limit, baby. I will pay any amount of money for there to be a Starbucks in the lobby. Like I would when I retire, I would love for my husband and I to move into a resort that has a Starbucks in it and just live there.
Yeah.
You
Like
know?
I earned being broke by being lazy. Like I earned that privilege to spend all of my money on frivolous things that I don't have to go get myself.
That is correct. And yay capitalism, right? We
Right?
get to do whatever. We can spend our money on whatever we want. And mine is always spent on online, not talking to people.
I was just about to say I bought some stuff on Amazon because, I don't do that very often at all.
Or every day, not often.
And I checked out and it was like, will be delivered on Saturday. And I was like, what? I forgot to change the settings in the computer not to let it hold all of your items until they're all ready to be delivered. And so now I'm like, this sucks. Because I ordered it yesterday and Preston ordered something today and he already got it today.
I get really mad whenever I order something on Amazon and it doesn't come to me for a week. And I'm like, I have Prime. Why isn't this going to be here tomorrow morning? I don't understand.
My mom uses my Prime and she only lives like 15 minutes from me. And she will order something and they'll be like, delivered tomorrow. And then I'll order something an hour before her and they're like, Saturday, if not Monday. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, why? I don't understand how that happens either. Because my husband can order, he's the same way. He'll order stuff and he'll be like, it'll be here in the morning. And then I'll order something and it's saying, your delivery will be here on June 7th. And I'm like, where in the hell is it coming from?
Right? Snoop, I'm so glad to see you here. By the way.
Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Cooch. Snoop. Who else do we have?
Got Bambi's Rambles stopped in to show us some support, but I think it's a time difference.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, Bambi. I hope one day you can make it.
There's people.
Hey,
They're just
JJ.
not talking. Well, oh, hi, JJ. Welcome.
Well, and so I spent the last good 30 minutes looking at memes because of your rant. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, I know that you found some good ones. So Stacey and I were talking before the stream about what we're ranting about tonight, and I'm literally laying in bed watching American Country Network because they have, I don't know, I like that show. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, all the shows about home repair and buying new homes and whatever. Any of the HGTV shows. And it just so happens to have the show on about RVs. By the way, now that I've watched the show about...
Hey, Kim, I think your mic is cutting out a little bit now, actually.
Oh, no. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, let's see if can you guys hear? I know we got a delay, but...
Kim's having mic issues. Hang on.
I hear you perfectly now when you said that.
All right, how's that? Is that better?
It's perfect.
Okay. Well, I needed to take my earbuds out apparently because that's what changed and screwed up my mic. So yay me. Where was I? Okay, we're watching TV and all the shows about home buying new RVs. This one that's on is about buying a new RV or a travel trailer. And these RVs are hundreds of thousands of dollars on this TV show. And these people on the show, I just don't understand like where they get this money and what they're doing with it. I was watching a show the other day. It was called like Extreme Decks or something like that. And the deck that was being built on this home was $410,000 for the deck. Like that's more than my house. So, and that's just the deck. And so I'm just wondering, like, I hate it because I always watch the shows and I'm like, I need an RV now because the RV is badass. But then when they interview the people that are actually buying it, they're like, you know, I'm a I'm a part-time arts and crafts junker that dives in dumpsters and sells things at the flea market. And my husband trains llamas. And they're like, our budget is $980,000. And I'm like, how in the hell is this possible?
And I'm like, my budget right now isn't $980. So where are you pulling that kind of cash out? And it's like, there's no way you're a llama trainer unless your parents were rich.
Like, it's just this crazy stuff that they do. Like the last one, there was one, their budget was for an RV was $250,000 for an RV. And she's like, I'm a blogger and her husband doesn't work. Where are they getting the money?
Did you see Snoop wrote maybe they're street pharmacists?
Maybe that's why they need an RV so they can travel a lot and sell on the streets.
So, my dad didn't call them street pharmacists. He called them chemists. And so when my husband and I were looking at houses before we got married, we found these like really nice homes in this town that was probably about 20 minutes from where I am currently. And my dad was like, you don't want to live there. There's a lot of chemists. And I walked away from that conversation confused for like 3 weeks before finally I just asked my mom, because I was trying to figure out why I wouldn't want to live in a town that was full of scientists and why my dad hated chemists so much.
Right. I probably would have been confused too. And I'm not the type of person that asks the question right away. So yeah, I'm the one that like absorbs it and thinks about it later and is like, what the hell were they talking about?
Well, and I'm like, well, I don't want to feel stupid for not knowing. So I'm just going to go home and ponder on this for a minute. Maybe I'll figure it out.
Well, clearly you needed to ask someone a little bit later.
Yeah. Well, my mom just started laughing. She's like, Stacy, he means that they make drugs. And I'm like, oh, a chemist. Like, and then it clicked. But I was just thinking, why in the heck would there be a town of chemists in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas?
That is so funny. Yeah, Snoop said, is that their only residence? And yeah, in most cases, no. Like one of the deck shows I was watching, it was their Colorado winter, like their vacation home, and they were putting a deck on that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, those people, they don't say what they do for a living. So I'm sure that there's a lot of money there and somehow maybe it's old money. But these other ones where they're buying RVs or they're buying houses, it just gets me whenever they have these gigantic budgets. And I'm currently looking for a home, and there are 0 houses in this area that cost less than $300,000 to $400,000, and for tiny, like the size of a hotel room home. So it just gets me whenever I hear these budgets. These budgets are outrageous, and I'm thinking, how is what did you say earlier? I dry orange peels for arts and crafts part-time. Like, how does that make the money that they need for a mortgage for $900,000? I don't know.
Yeah, it's I dry orange peels for crafts part-time, and my fiance is a substitute elementary art teacher. Our budget is $950,000, and we're hoping to find a turnkey ready.
That's right. That's exactly how all of them are. Although I did see one tonight that I was cracking up about, because typically they look very staged and they're very, like, usually the wife is the one that's talking about the budget and all that stuff. In this instance, this guy was so cool. He like, we're a really cool family because of me. And you could see her roll her eyes. And then they cut back to him again and he says, "We don't have a budget. We're just ballers like that." And she rolls her. She's like, "Stop saying that. This is TV." But they put it in. They put it in the show. It was hilarious.
That is great.
Yeah, the housing market is crazy, Snoop. Like that would be another rant for me. Is that the housing market is extremely volatile right now, and why the hell is it? I don't understand. And these houses are not worth the money that people are paying for them. And oh, by the way, everyone who's buying houses, they're buying them in cash. Where are you getting $300,000 in cash?
They got a much bigger stimulus than what I got, I'm assuming.
I guess, because I didn't get a stimulus, but you know, so it was a lot bigger than mine. Mine was zero. I actually still owe the government, so it's negative. But yeah, I mean, that's happening everywhere. Like I was looking at houses today, and the realtor said, "Well, this one just came on the market 6 hours ago, but it looks like there's already 2 cash offers on it. So do you even want to go?" And I was like, "Nope, not even going to bother."
I was looking at houses in around in your state because I like to pretend like I'm going to move. And my favorite one was this house that was like 6 bedrooms, 3 bath or something, but it was like 1,719 square feet. So in my head, I'm trying to figure out how big, or rather how small, all of these rooms would have to be. Like, what am I buying here? An old-timey boarding house? What is this?
6 bedrooms. Yeah, the rooms would have to be like 9 by 9, if that. Those are tiny. That's like the size of a little office, you know?
Yeah, I'm thinking smaller than my little office that I have in our house. And it's like, it's actually a pretty good sized kid's bedroom if you wanted to be honest, but it's not like I don't know how small these bedrooms would have to be.
Pretty small. I walked into one today and I loved the layout of the house. I actually loved the neighborhood too. Loved everything about this house. The outside of it is gorgeous. It's like on a lake. It's in a gated neighborhood in an area where there's nice schools in Central Florida. And I was like, score. This is gonna be the one. And it was $350,000 for a 4-bedroom house. So, and I'm like cringing thinking about even spending that much money, but knowing that I have to at this point. And the realtor opened the door, and I had seen the inside of it online, and I had pre-picked this house to go look at. So I knew what the inside of it looked like, and it was beautiful. And so I was like, this is a done deal. Like, over with. We're getting this one. I'm calling my husband. She opens the door. It's a bank-owned foreclosure, and the pictures were taken before the husband, the scorned husband in the divorce, decided to take out his anger on the inside of the house.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, it was not only was it chilling and creepy because he took spray paint and spray painted on the walls things like when you walk up the stairs on the wall in spray paint, it says, "You destroyed someone who loved you." They're in some of the bedrooms, like the master bedroom. There's all kinds of messages on the wall, like, "I hope you're happy." You know, this is the worst thing you could have ever done to me. I'm still gonna pray for you. Like, there's all these weird messages that I guess it could have been the wife, I suppose. She could have been the one that was scorned and doing it. I don't know.
But you have to know that even if like a divorce happens and the house is foreclosed on, anything the bank can't recoup, they sue you for.
People don't see, and this is the thing. Like, I was walking through, and this house was destroyed. Like, destroyed. So it could have been any kind of couple, and whatever. One of the spouses in this couple decided that they were going to lose their minds. This house had holes in every wall where they had just punched holes through the drywall. They had poured bleach on all of the carpets. They'd ripped carpet up in 3 of the rooms. There was one room that was like all concrete floor at this point. They busted the tiles, like took a hammer to the tiles in the kitchen. And then the backsplash, like this gorgeous, really expensive backsplash on the in the kitchen, just ripped half of it off. All of the appliances are gone. The lighting fixtures are all busted. Everything, every single thing in that house needs, I would have to gut the house entirely and rebuild it completely new from the inside. Like all
And
it
see,
has is its bones.
I can't stress enough to anyone who might be listening that doesn't know this. If you have your home foreclosed on and you owe the bank $400,000 and they can only sell it for $200,000, they can sue you for that difference.
Right. And you still owe it. Like you still owe that loan. Hi, Jackie's here.
Hey.
Hey,
How
guys.
are you doing?
Oh, it's a long night, I'll tell you. I'm still working. I'm on a quick break. I'm in the back. All these lights are killing me, so. But having my cigarette.
Oh, good. Well, we were just talking. We're glad to have you here. We were just talking about house hunting. Our rant tonight was about houses, kind of specifically. So then we just got on this topic about house hunting today, and I walked into a house that was bank owned, so the people had destroyed it on the inside, and I just don't get why we do that. Like you didn't pay your mortgage. Sorry. So that's someone else's fault. So you're going to destroy the house so they can't sell it for as much as they should. That makes zero sense to me. And, I guess they just have anger issues. Like go to an axe throwing place and throw axes if you have, take it out on a dartboard or something. Like a box, go punch a boxing bag, but you're really going to punch holes in the walls of your house. And I don't get it.
That's something we need to do also when we're in Florida. Let's go throw axes.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. I know when my parents sold the house. Sorry. I know when my parents sold the house, they wanted so many things fixed, and my parents made sure that everything was fixed. And the day that they bought it, I brought over the garage keys because I still had the keys, and they were already tearing apart the whole kitchen. So it was like everything my parents did, they were tearing apart anyway.
Yeah, that's crazy. But we do when I've bought houses, I have said, look, I'm not buying this house unless this thing gets fixed. That has happened before because sometimes they try and get it by, they'll be real slick. We bought a house one time and it was a pre-foreclosure, so it was a short sale. And we walked the house. You have to do a walk on closing day. So we walked the house a couple days before and we were like, yep, we're buying it. This is the one. And then we go back on closing day and the stove was no longer the same stove. Like it went from a stainless steel stove to a white stove with rust on the top of it and those coil burners sticking up. And I was like, what in the hell is this? And I was about to lose my mind. And my husband was like, it's closing day. You can't do anything about it now. Like they got one over on us because we could go back and not close,
I'm coming. Yep, I'm coming. All right, I got a table, guys. I got to go. Like I said.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Oh, yeah, I'm here till 3, so.
Oh, go make that money.
Yeah, right.
Bye.
A lot of it cards, so we'll see how much I make tonight. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Man, I gotta say, I'm so thankful that I don't work night shift anymore. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, I never worked like an actual night shift, but I used to work a lot overnight, like doing overnight floor sets and things like that in stores, and they're brutal. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I used to have to work night shift for years and years, and I don't think I could do it now. In fact, I was back when I was young and could do that stuff. I would work like multiple jobs. Like one would be an overnight, one would be during the day.
Oh yeah. I had 3 jobs whenever I was in my early 20s, and I would still go out drinking every night with my friends, but
Yes. But now just thinking about not getting into bed by like 10 o'clock, I'm like, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow.
Yes. Now I'm like, I have to work a whole 40 hours. This is brutal. So it's rough getting old.
Yeah, I don't know how Snoop does it at all. I would not be able to.
Yeah. Well, medical field like that. I don't know. Some people just have always done it and they continue to do it. Like my sister, she's always been on night shift. But it's so hard on her body. Like it's not healthy to do.
You would definitely wouldn't want me driving you around like in an ambulance at nighttime either, because I'm like, I'm night blind tonight. I don't know what's going on.
No. We can't have that. Like, no, Stacy is not for me either. Stacy and Kim are not getting behind the driver's seat of an ambulance ever, because you will not make it to the hospital on time.
Not at all. And I'll be over there like, well, I wanted to turn on the GPS and you said you knew the way. I'm sorry I missed the exit.
Yes, absolutely. That is something that always happens. I get a phone call in the middle of like I'm on one of the interstates, or I'll be on like the turnpike, and I'll get a phone call and I'll forget to hit it on the screen to go back to Apple Maps and not just the phone message. And I'm talking to someone and I'll just completely fly by my exit and like, where the hell am I? And I'm 20 minutes past where I should be.
Yes. And I get irritated at the person that's on the phone with, if it's my husband that calls, I'm like, I'm in the car, so what do you think I'm using my phone for right now?
They don't ever learn. This could be a whole rant in itself, like hours long rant. Men, we love you. We love all the guys out there if you're listening, but you have no ability to retain memory in your brains. My husband asks me every single day that he has to take our daughter to school, what time she has to be at school. Every single day. And every single day, he'll say, what time am I supposed to leave to go get her? And I'm like, you've been doing this shit for 5 years. 5 years. She's gone to school at the same time every single day.
That's Preston. I finally I don't tell him anymore when I'm leaving for work. I'm getting ready in the morning. He just got home. I get ready. I walk out the door and I leave. And he finally was like, why aren't you telling me you're leaving so I can come say bye? And I was like, you know what, Preston? I stopped telling you because I leave at the same time every day.
I don't get it. What is it about that? Does anyone in the chat do that where you don't remember and you have to ask your spouse the same time every single day? I don't know.
Because like I have it down to a science, even factoring in traffic, exactly what time I have to walk out that door in the morning.
Well, it's an art to know what time you have to leave in order to get coffee on the way.
Yes.
And there are very few times in my life that I've ever been late to work because of it. Because I will straight up give myself 25 extra minutes to sit in a Starbucks coffee line. I'll do it. I don't know why. It's a habit.
I'll take a longer way to work because I know that there's a Starbucks that's not as busy on a different street.
I've done that too. I used to work in a store where I could have taken the interstate all the way there. Like I could have taken the 417 all the way there, right? And I would go there every single day, but I would get off on an exit, 2 exits up, and drive through a neighborhood and to go to this one specific Starbucks because there was never a line and I could get in and get out really fast. And it didn't even have a drive-through, but it was like the only one that was close enough to that store that I would be able to get coffee every day. So it probably added 10 miles to driving every day on top of a good 25 to 30 minutes.
But it was still faster than the ones with the drive-through. That's why the one I was talking about doesn't have a drive-through. It's in one of those shopping centers. But people are so lazy in the morning that they're not going to get out of their car to go in to get it. So I can get in and out so quick. And so I'll drive 10 minutes out of my way just to go to that Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I used to get out of my car and do things, but now I'm like, if it does not have a drive-through option and an order online option, it ain't for me, folks. I'm not going there. So
And I've also told you the trick to ordering at Starbucks is you get one cold drink and one hot drink, and you can drink the cold drink while you wait for the hot drink to cool off enough to drink.
yes. So Stacy is the master because she taught me this trick that she'll get the cold drink and then the hot drink will be cooling while she's drinking her cold drink. And I thought that was so genius. So now I order 2 drinks every time I go to Starbucks. Plus I have to get my ham and cheese croissant if it's in the morning. Have to. And every once in a while, some iced lemon loaf. Although it's high in calories, I need to stop eating that stuff.
But it's so good. It's like, I don't know, I could eat like any dessert where they're like, and we put lemon in it. I'm like, okay, I'll eat that.
Yep, me too. Me too. Like they could be like, we put lemons on top of it. And I'm like, give it to me.
Yes. And that's exactly how I choose what I'm going to do. So Jackie did send us, speaking of lemons, her drink of choice for the week. And I'll go ahead and
put that up on screen for us.
Yeah. It's Easy Adult Pink Lemonade. It has 7-Up or Diet 7-Up, vodka, pink lemonade, fresh lemons, crushed ice, and sugar for rim of glass. Which, if you're making lemonade, you should probably already have sugar. I'm just going to say that. And you could probably just leave out the vodka and make this for kids, and they would be super enthused for it.
Oh, yeah. My kids would love it. And they're in mason jars. Yay. Yay from South. Mason jars. We love those down here. So if you're not from here, you don't know about mason jars. We drink out of them. We store things in them. We do everything with mason jars. Like they're our tea glasses, basically.
The best part about going to my mom's house is stealing some of her strawberry jam in the mason jars, because then when you're done with it, you have these amazing glasses.
So I have a friend who makes salsa. And she actually sells it. Like there's a business and they go around to different places and it's called the Jelly Gang. So there's people who make like pickled vegetables and they can them. And there's people who make jams and jellies. They can them. She makes all of the salsa. And let me tell you, it's the best salsa I've ever had in my life. So, and she cans it in mason jars, and you can't can it in like the wrong kind of jar because they'll break when you put it in the water. So you have to use like the real mason jars. And I love it because now I have a ton of mason jars all over the house because I keep buying salsa from her. But then I also recycle it and give it back to her and just say, hey, here, fill my glass again.
So my mom, she also cans salsa, but you return the salsa jars. Because of that reason, because otherwise you will not hear the end of, do you know how expensive these jars are?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I return them. I've got like 5 of them sitting on my counter right now. I wash them.
Well, I'm not paying my mom, so that's why she's yelling at me.
True. Well, yeah, I do pay for this salsa, and she does give me a discount because she is a very close friend of mine. But, I mean, this lady is selling salsa like the regular size mason jar. What is it? Like a quart size mason jar, the big one.
Yes.
It's a quart size. She is selling one jar for $32 at these places, and she is killing the game. The salsa game, like killing it. She's racking up $900 at like one Saturday when they go and sell this stuff. It's crazy.
And so I don't actually know how you would make, I actually don't know how you make pink lemonade at home if it's not a packet. I don't know if you're just putting food coloring in lemonade. I've never looked it up.
I don't know the answer to that either because I don't make things. Is it? I mean, I always thought it was like grapefruit.
I had no idea. I just know that as a kid, I was like, I want the pink one because it's prettier.
Yeah, I like the pink one too. I don't know. It's got to be like Crystal Light, I guess. Is that what do they say to use? Pink lemonade. Yeah, I think you just get the Crystal Light mix and make it.
Yeah, so pink lemonade, you actually do you just add red dye, or you can add some kind of red juice to it to make it pink.
America, add red dye number 40 to everything to make it better. It's not necessary, but we're going to put it there anyway.
So yeah, I guess now we know.
Yeah.
It says you can also use grenadine and strawberries. This person used watermelon for color. But at that point, I don't think it's really like lemonade anymore. It's like strawberry lemonade.
Yeah, I don't know. Cher says she uses peach flavor. Jesse said food coloring or strawberries. Skippy said raspberry juice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys make this drink. Tell me how it goes.
We were very fancy growing up at my house. We had country time.
Yep, we did too.
And that's how we made the pink lemonade.
Yeah, country time is where it's at. Like that was if we didn't have that, we were drinking water or milk. So that was it.
We would have Tang, but I hated Tang.
Tang is for the devil. Tang is disgusting.
My older sister loved Tang, and I would just be so mad. I'm like, I'm not drinking that.
I mean, as a kid, most kids typically love it, but it's unbelievable. It is like diabetes in a cup.
I don't even know. Do they still make it?
They do. Yes. Okay. So funny story about Tang. We took the girls that are formerly known as the Girl Scout troop that we're not part of anymore. We took them to Kennedy Space Center, and we had an opportunity to sleep at Kennedy Space Center under the Atlantis. And like it was cool because it's a whole program. They take you around and you have night like you can roam around the park at night, but then also they have these just special things that they do with you. And they have like a STEM project where the girls get separated up and they have to build a bridge and different projects like that. So it's filled with activities, and the food, like the restaurant feeds us during this event. And our choices were water, coffee, or Tang. The kids had Tang and the adults had coffee, all the chaperones. And we were like, Tang? Really? Like NASA needs to get it together. They're still serving Tang.
So I didn't like Tang, but I also didn't like Sunny Delight as a kid either. And I don't know if I was the minority there too. Like, I guess I just didn't like fake orange drinks.
No, I don't like Sunny Delight either. It doesn't taste like orange juice to me. But I will, I don't know. Orange juice to me was strange as a child because my mom would buy the concentrated frozen can that you had to water down. Do you know
Yes.
what that is? Yeah.
Yes.
That was our orange juice and our apple juice, by the way.
It was 3 things of water to 1 container.
Yeah. Yes.
Because you always put not quite enough in each one of the little filler ups because you're like, it's going to be a little bit stronger juice if I don't fill it all the way full of water each time.
Right. Right. Well, I eventually figured out that the frozen cans, it's like Italian ice, and I would just eat the concentrate. Like that was dessert for me sometimes.
So I used to do that all the time, especially if I could convince my mom to get like a really fancy one, because fancy to me was like, Mom, they have a fruit punch with pineapple.
And you're trying to get the tropical punch one instead of just the orange juice.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Like I used to do that at hotels too. You know how like back in the day in the continental breakfast, it would have like 4 different juice options?
Yes.
I would go in there and I was like, so you start with the bottom is cranberry. You add a little orange here.
You're making your own like mimosas?
Yes.
That's funny. That is too good. I mean, I like to reminisce about stuff that we did when we were kids because it seems like our followers too, all of our friends on here can relate, had the same kind of experiences. So it's always fun to talk about that stuff. And I didn't even remember that I used to eat the orange juice concentrate straight from the can until just now tonight. So good times.
So the only you remember that show Pretty Little Liars?
Yes.
I never finished it because at some point I lost interest, even though I had read the books. Well, I have recently decided that I am going to finish this because I got way too far into it when it came out to not finish this. Only instead of like normally, I did not start back from the beginning because I knew I didn't have that patience for it. So I started where the last place I could remember. And there's an episode where Hannah, one of the characters, is eating orange juice from the concentrate. And when I saw that, I was like, I used to do that. Why don't I still do that? Those were so good.
I know. That is the real question here. Why did I stop doing that in life ever? Like as an adult, I have never bought juice concentrate in a can, and I am missing out on life because I haven't. And I need to go. Well, let's be real. I'm not going to go to the store and buy it. I'm going to order that.
But you can add it to your cart.
That's right. I'm going to order it on Shipt and get it delivered to my house from the Publix app.
And like I said, that's what was so funny to me about you saying that just now is that I just watched this episode like 3 days ago and was like, why don't I still do that?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I think I don't know if we're twins or if we're actually the same person and there's some kind of like space-time continuum that makes us go back and forth. So it's not surprising that you had an experience with it recently and then it comes up tonight and I bring it up. It's weird. We're like that, people.
So Cher, I used to do that too. I would take Kool-Aid and I would mix sugar in a plastic baggie and shake it up. And it was almost like making your own homemade pixie sticks.
I never did that. That is interesting. I thought you were going to say that you like made your own like popsicles because I did that.
Oh, we actually had the little popsicle containers because my parents were cheap.
Yep.
And Kool-Aid was like 10 packs for $1 or something back then.
It was. Well, I think, it was like 5 cents for a pack, I think. So there was
like it
always
was super cheap.
Full. Yeah. You knew where to go. Like if you had a bunch of pitchers in the refrigerator and there was one pitcher that had your concentrate juice in it, and there was one pitcher that had your Kool-Aid in it, and then there was an iced tea pitcher in
Which
there.
you didn't touch because you're a kid and iced tea is not peeling when you have Kool-Aid.
Right. So the packet drawer where all the Kool-Aid packets were kept, that's where you had to go to get what you needed. And I used to make my own push pops because we didn't even have those. Like my parents were super cheap too. And so I'd put them in like Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer and just make my own and then crush them up and kind of like drink them out of the bag.
And sometimes I would refreeze my orange juice concentrate, and right before they'd get frozen, I'd stick a toothpick in them.
Genius. I know. It's amazing. I actually, it's funny because I didn't think of things like that. You know, I had my little life hack things when I was a kid, but recently I also, to this day as an adult, still have the popsicle makers. Yes, I do, because we're cheap too. And I can make them like natural instead of buying the junk that's at the store. So I come home one day and my nanny has made popsicles for the kids. And I'm like, what kind of popsicles did you make? She made fudgesicles by making instant pudding and putting them in there and freezing them. Genius, right?
See, I think I do have some popsicle makers here, and I probably bought them with the intention of I'm going to make my own popsicles, but I never do. Instead, I go to the store and I'm like, where are those Outshine ones? They have like this lime flavor that's delicious.
The lime is the best. The white one,
Yes.
it is the best. And no one in my house likes it but me. Like
Same.
the kids go for the tangerine one's pretty good too. The kids go for like the tangerine, the strawberry, the raspberry ones, and they always leave the lime for me. And I'm like, go ahead, kids. You go ahead. Even my husband. I love the lime ones.
I should not be surprised that you agree with me.
No, I know. It's at this point, like, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have all the same taste in things? Although we don't like our favorite color of Sour Patch Kid is different. So,
But see, even that's a plus, because that means I can give you all of the flavor you like and you give me all the flavor I like when we meet up.
that's true. Well, would you be surprised if I told you right now that there is a box of runts in my car, and all of the runts that are still remaining in it are the bananas because they're the ones that you have to eat last.
Yes. Except for I haven't eaten them in a long time.
Yeah, no, I love them. I eat them all the time still.
Well, you remember I told you about my story with the banana runts, right?
Yeah. Yes. What are you going to tell the story tonight?
Oh, I mean, I've probably told it before, but I one night got on Amazon and was like, I wonder if you can just buy the banana runts. They're clearly the best one, and they never put enough in the container. And your answer is yes. Yes, you can buy just banana runts, but they come to you in like a pound bag or a 2-pound bag. And a pound bag is more banana runts than any one person will ever need in their entire life.
You're still working on them.
Oh, they have long since been thrown away.
Yeah. Okay. We have some things going on in the chat here that we need to address. Number 1, share. Do not throw away banana candy. Send it to us. It is the best thing ever.
Exactly.
That is a shame. I am so sad. And also, Snoop says that the blue Sour Patch Kid is the best. So you are aligned with Stacy on her favorite. But my favorite is green.
And see, you can have all the green.
Well, I mean, I love the blue ones too. They're pretty high up there on the list. What you throw away are those red ones.
I was fixing to say, like, and the orange can kind of go with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Let's just get like one little section of the color wheel in the bag and call it good.
Well, it's like M&Ms where you could buy like one color of M&M. We need to be able to do that with Sour Patch Kids.
And you know what? You probably can, and you probably don't want to. So do not go on Amazon and look.
Right. We have very bad ideas. Do not do what we do. What are Pop-Tart popsicles, Leanne? That sounds delicious. Oh, Snoop doesn't eat the green ones either.
I really like lemon because I like anything lemon flavored. And the blue are my favorite.
Yeah, they are very good. I do like the lemon and the blue, but green are my favorite. I don't know why you don't like, I want to know why Snoop doesn't like green. There's no such thing as a bad Sour Patch Kid. That's very true, Jesse.
I eat them all. I'm just saying I eat them in order of least favorite to favorite. That way I can save the best for last.
Correct. Because I try to teach my kids this because we are at a point right now where we're trying to get our children to eat something else besides chicken nuggets in their life. And I'm not sure if I'm going to win that battle, but we're trying. So we put all this other stuff on their plates. And when they were really little, when my oldest daughter was really little, she would eat anything. She was really good at eating vegetables. Whatever I was cooking, she was eating. And I did really, really good with her. And then I had my second child, and I realized that parenting is hard. And my husband is not going to be great at it either. So that's whenever we started introducing like frozen dinners and chicken nuggets all the time. And it ruined our children, honestly. So that's all they eat. But now we're trying to convince them, if you eat the stuff on the plate that you like the least first, then you end your meal with the good stuff. And it's like you don't remember eating the broccoli. But they don't get it. They won't do it.
So I can tell you how my parents would convince us is pretend like they really needed our help to cook dinner. And so when we were done, we were eating what we had cooked. And I do the like quotation marks when I say that because no, we didn't cook any of it. But they always gave us like jobs that they pretended were super important to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, the girls do sometimes help me. Zoe will ask if she can chop the vegetables for me, and different. I'll be like, "Go get that pot, super! I need it right now. I need you to go get this pot out of the door." But then they just get distracted. I don't know. My kids are spoiled, or maybe I'm just a bad mom.
See, I just can't let anyone be in the kitchen with me, so I'm like, that wouldn't work for me.
Well, it is hard. I will say that. Like my husband, Chris, will get in the kitchen, and wherever I'm standing, whatever part of the island that I'm standing, he will need to be right there. So if I'm standing on the side of the island where the refrigerator is, he needs to get in the refrigerator. So I have to move. If I'm standing on the side of the island where the sink is, he suddenly needs to use the sink. So I have to move. So when I'm chopping vegetables and preparing food on the island, I'm like walking in a circle doing it the whole time. And I'm like, get out of my kitchen, just leave.
See, and the worst thing that you can do for me is like Preston will walk over to my skillet and like turn something. And it takes like every part of my being not to be like, put that down and don't touch my stuff.
Well, yeah, Chris always says like, are you burning that? Is something burning? And I'm like, no, it's not burning. I have a timer. I know exactly how long that piece of chicken needs to be on that side. Don't touch it. And he's like, you're burning it. You need to flip it. No, I'm not. You stay in your lane, buddy.
Like, I know exactly how long because I know that I have exactly enough time to finish making these side dishes. And it will be done all at the same time. It's like magic. Get out of my kitchen.
That's also true. You know what? My favorite part of the holidays is being the cook, being the chef for the holidays, because I have figured out how to make the turkey, the ham, and all of the sides and all of the desserts for Thanksgiving and Christmas and get it all done at the right time so it's all hot whenever it hits the table. It's an art. It's something that has taken me 40 years, but I can do it. So I don't like people helping me. When the family comes over, I'm like, don't go in another room. I don't want anybody in here because I've got it. I don't need help.
No, because
Goodbye.
it's not helpful. It's not helpful. Like, if you want to help me, go back in there.
Yeah.
And tell everyone else that you pass on your way back in there to stay in there.
Exactly. Leanne, I think if you're asking how old my kids are, they're 9 and 4. So they're little still.
And they're so adorably cute.
There's something. The
and
little
super
one.
sweet.
Yeah, you love Zia's voice. The little one is the 4-year-old. She has this really sweet voice and she's super cute, but she is hell on wheels. Like she aged me and my husband so fast when she was born. It was just crazy.
So I guess the only other thing that I wanted to talk about tonight, which is not, again, I was trying to find something to talk about that did not involve me being mad at other cars and coffee places. And I saw a really good video earlier, and I don't remember who exactly I was watching, but they were pointing out that they were pointing out this group of people were calling out someone for being a bully to them. And they were like, so you're going to call someone a bully and then immediately insult them. And it might have been frenemies that I heard it on. And I thought, that's a really good point. So often we're quick to call out bullies by being a bully. And I'm going to admit I'm guilty of it, but I'm going to try to be more aware. And I thought, that's just a good thing to go ahead and say to everyone else is, in case you missed it, we need to stop and think about it before we get so emotional about something that we're not becoming the person we're trying to call out.
That's a really good point. I'm guilty of it too. Like there are people that I cannot stand on the internet. There's people that we all know. There's several people, pretty famous ones, that just drive me bananas, and I've talked about them on this channel before. And it is like some of what I've said would be considered bullying to this person, and they are bullies. And what I don't like about them is that the way that they act is so awful towards other people. So I mean, how do you call someone out and not be a bully about it? It's really hard. Like, that's a fine line to walk, but something that, we can definitely be conscious of and aware of.
Yeah, you see, my husband has decided to make an appearance tonight in the chat, Kim.
I see. Mr. Bobbles is here. Welcome.
And see, that's what threw me off when I was in the middle of talking, is it popped up on the screen, Mark Bobbles.
Well, for a second I was like, is this guy trolling? This isn't Mr. Bobbles. This is some troll that's decided to come in, but it actually is. Welcome.
It is. And his name actually is Mark. He just goes by Preston. I think that's also what threw me off, because, like, if someone were to holler, Mark at him, we would both just keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of people that go by their middle name. that don't go by their first name. It's common.
I would have to, depending on what my middle name was or what my first name was, I'd think about it.
Well, if I had let my father name me, I would definitely be going by my middle name, because the names that he has told me that he wanted to name me are so horrible that I question whether or not there's a brain between those two ears. Like, I love my dad, but he actually wanted to name me Mylanta and did not know that it was a laxative or a stomach, like, I mean, whatever it is, like a stomach stuff like Pepto. Like
as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, Mylanta.
Yes. I was like, where did you get it? If you didn't know what it was, where did you come up with that word? Like, how did that come out of your brain? You had to have known what that was. So,
like, the doctor was trying to get our parents to name us Elvira.
Elvira?
Yes. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a creepy name at all for a child to have.
Parents, this could be a rant too. Don't name your kids dumb stuff. I was watching that chapter, true crime, and the person he was talking about, the victim in that episode, her name was Crystal, and he was like, yes, her parents actually did name her after crystal meth because they were both druggies and they loved it, so they named their daughter Crystal. Great. Can you imagine growing up knowing that? Like, yeah, that's where my parents got my name.
Well, that's I know it's like a touchy subject with people because they're like, this is my child and I get to name them. And that is exactly true. It is your child. You get to name them. But remember that they're the ones that have to answer to it. And they're the ones that are stuck being called that.
Oh, yeah. So and I thought about that when I was naming my children, because I was like, okay, think of all of the names that you heard in school from other people and what they could be called. Like, all of the names that are easy pick on type names, and don't name your kids any of those. And I know that, Elon Musk's poor kid. How do you even say that name?
What's that one celebrity kid? Like, what do you name? Like, pilot inspector or something?
Who is that? I don't know. What's her name? Named, oh my gosh, I can't think of
Apple.
things tonight. Yes, Apple. Why? Like, how did you know? Yes. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Apple
Jason Lee named his kid Pilot Inspector Lee.
Jason Lee, I am disappointed in you. That is really stupid.
It's like, that's not a name. Is that what you want him to grow up to be? Is that what we're going to start doing? Because there's going to be a lot of doctors running around here that are definitely not going to grow up to be doctors.
I don't understand that. Like, if you like the name Pilot, but Inspector, I don't get that. And then what's the name? Oh, Spurgeon, the Duggar kid.
Yes.
I hate that word. I hate that name so much. I can't tell you what I think of when I hear the word Spurgeon, and it's gross. For YouTube's sake, I'm not going to say it. Use your imagination. It starts with SP.
So that's exactly what Preston calls him, is what I was fixing to say, if he's still listening. And it's the joke we make every single time we hear it. And then we feel bad because we're laughing at a child. But it's all we hear.
I know. So this is interesting. Jesse said that Elon Musk's son's name is Kyle. It's pronounced Kyle. They just didn't want to spell it like Kyle, so they spelled it the way that they did.
Well, and that's what's funny is I was going to tell you that's what they did with Pilot Inspector's name. there's no C in inspector. It's spelled with a K, so it's original.
Oh, man. Jason Lee, genius. Who would have thunk it to change a C to a K? Holy cow.
Like, all right, Mark.
I don't know. It's groundbreaking. Stop the presses. This is huge. Inspector with a K. That just makes it dumber. Sorry, that might be bullying. But
anytime I see somebody replace a C with a K, all I can think of is like Mark. Like he's like with a C.
Yeah, yes. So I was thinking about naming my band.
My name's with a K. So I was thinking about naming my band with a C.
Yep, Empire Records. For any of you that don't get that joke, watch it. Best movie ever.
It is the greatest movie. And I would have to say my number 2 is probably Dazed and Confused, even though it's probably, if I were to watch it now, because I haven't watched it in a decade, be very disappointed in it.
Yeah, I love it, but I have gone back and rewatched it and been like, I don't know. I don't remember it being like this. And I love Mean Girls. That is one of my favorites, hands down.
So I used to just love all Lindsay Lohan movies when I was younger. I'll admit it.
Even Parent Trap?
I loved Parent Trap. But, I watched the original too.
Well, the Haley Mills version, so good. The original. I absolutely loved it. And I was a big fan of Haley Mills when I was a kid.
Me too. I even watched Pollyanna.
Yes, absolutely. And then, so whenever the second Parent Trap came out with Lindsay, I was like, oh, it's not going to be as good, but it's really good. I think it's actually maybe better than the first one.
Yes. And I always, what was the only movie I didn't like was the Herbie. But I wasn't big on Herbie like the original either. That just wasn't my kind of movie.
Yeah, well, I liked it as a kid, but I don't know. It just, like, I wouldn't go back and watch it now.
What was it? Was it like Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen? I loved that one.
Yep, that was a great one. Man,
we're gonna do this Mean Girls one night on Discord, right?
We have to. I can quote the entire movie just like Empire Records, because you could, if I was stuck in a room and I could not do anything but watch TV, if you told me that I had my choice of 2 shows to watch, I would tell you Mean Girls and Empire Records. I will watch it over and over again for the rest of my existence and never need anything else. Maybe that's a little much, but it's true.
And you would come check on me like a month later to see if I was going crazy yet, and I would still be sitting there singing Sugar High, doing Gina's part.
Right. Absolutely.
Even pretending to be like I am stage fright for the beginning.
The whole point. Yes. You're going to do the whole part. And then are you going to put an apron on too and dress like her?
Probably not going to do that, but I will. I absolutely pretend like I am Gina anytime Sugar High comes on.
Such a great movie. Rex Manning. We need to have a Rex Manning day. We actually did that at work once. We had a Rex Manning day. We have Elf Day. That movie's so great. So at Christmas, you always have Elf Day, because I have several Elf shirts. Like one that says, "Congratulations, you did it. World's best cup of coffee." And
Preston, he had Rex Manning hair, and a few weeks ago he went and pretty much got his head shaved off.
Really?
Yeah.
No more Rex Manning hair? That's a shame. You could have recreated the movie.
It was getting super long. It was almost like he was about to have to get it trimmed to have a Rex Manning haircut, but he went and had it all cut off.
Yeah. Well, so what did he do? Shave it? Buzz cut it?
So that's actually a funny story is he went to go get a normal haircut, and the lady misheard what he said about how short to cut it. And she does the first swipe, and he's like, and she's like, oh, do you want something different? And it's like, well, it's too late now.
Wow.
So it looked like he had visited the local recruitment office before he came home that night.
Is he in the Army now?
Yes.
That's funny. Should have gone for a mullet. That's right, Snoop. You got to
So
represent.
I have photos of him with a mullet.
Oh, he had an actual mullet?
He had a mullet as a kid.
This is perfect.
And I think there's even a couple photos of him with like a rat's tail at some point.
Mr. Bobbles, you better not piss Stacy off because she's got some serious blackmail on you.
Yeah, and good luck finding any of mine because I've destroyed all photographic evidence just about.
I have not. There are pictures that pop up of me now and again, and I get really angry about them because when I don't know, there's kids that I think were just super beautiful their whole life. But there was a time of my life with this very curly hair where it was like a triangle, like Kathy the cartoon. Like
a triangle with a bird's nest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because when you're 10 and you're trying to figure out what tames this kind of hair, it's really hard if your mom doesn't know either. Like my mother wasn't into, she just like, she didn't wear makeup. She didn't necessarily do her hair. She never spent money on herself because everything was for the kids.
My mom is the exact same. And to this day, she still doesn't wear makeup and her hair is just pulled out of her face, usually in a clip.
Yeah. My mother has had the same haircut for 35 years and no lie. And it's, her hair isn't curly like mine. So she didn't know what to do with it. And my stepmother was a hairstylist, and even she had trouble with figuring out what was going to tame my hair.
And spoiler alert, guys, it's not a brush.
It's definitely not a brush. You're lucky I even own one of those things because people with our type of hair, we don't brush our hair. It only gets brushed or combed directly out of the shower. Yep. And that's it. You do not brush your hair because it will look like a bird's nest and it will be gigantic and not good. So,
and I've started brushing my hair before the shower because I found out it makes less of a mess in the shower when you inevitably lose hair.
Yeah, I lose a lot of hair. So
I should be bald by now.
You would think I would be too because of how much hair just comes out in the shower. And that's a really good idea to brush your hair before you get in, to get all the like excess hair out. But I'm telling you, I lose hair like crazy, but I still have a full head of hair. It's never going away. And I have to use very specific types of product in my hair to get it to stay curly and not frizzy. Like I'm sure you've tried everything too,
And
but when
stay curly, not frizzy, but not turn your roots into a grease slick.
Well, right. You don't want to look like someone dumped a bucket of oil on your head. And that does happen because at the roots, your hair doesn't want to like have volume always. So it's like flat there and then it's volume on the bottom. So, but when you're 10, 11 years old, you don't know any of this stuff and you don't have money to go buy it either. So I had braces and I had this crazy hair. So there are pictures of me out there that I would prefer that no one ever sees ever again.
Yeah, see, I just got rid of like all the pictures out there that I didn't want other people to see. And my mom was not happy, but I have no regrets. I'm like, look, you'll remember what I look like. And the day that you don't, it won't matter that you don't have a photo.
True. I mean, are you good at keeping photos and taking photos? Like, I'm not good at that. I have never, and I mean this seriously, never had professional photos taken with my family. Never. With my kids, never ever. The only professional photos I have of my children are their school pictures and their dance pictures. That's it. I'm just not good at it. But like all these moms they have these photo shoots and they're, falling into a pile of leaves and they're all dressed the same and, walking down a dirt path and there's soft lighting and they're in front of a barn. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You see this crap on Instagram and Facebook, right?
Yes. And the last time I had professional photos taken was at my wedding.
Yeah, I didn't even have professional photos at my wedding because it was just at the courthouse. And I was like, here, take pictures with my phone. Like it was, so they're not even that good. But Snoop brings up a good point. Most of us have some sort of PTSD from childhood photos. Yes, I think it's me rebelling because as a kid, we were at JCPenney every month taking freaking pictures with the family. So now I'm like,
Same.
pictures, no, we're not doing that shit. No, like all my pictures of my children are on my phone. That's it.
It still kills me that those places are even still open. I'm like, who is subjecting their children to the same horror we had?
No, I saw a TikTok of two girls that for their mother's birthday decided to go get cringy pictures at JCPenney. So they dressed really like in jean shorts and cowboy boots and like plaid shirts. They dressed really funny. And then they took all these pictures in just awkward positions like you do, like all the pictures from the 80s and early 90s that were like that at JCPenney. It was freaking hilarious. I'll have to post it in the Discord so you can see it. I would do that. I would have pictures done like that. And I actually have a friend who is a photographer and she has taken pictures of me. Like, and she's taken pictures of my youngest child when she was really little. And that was it. Like, but she was, she doesn't have a business or anything. She's just good at photography. And I have very few of those even.
So, Snoop, yes, the dressed in white shirts on the beach. Can we all just stop doing that? Nobody
Please.
wears white to the beach. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't look like you guys were just caught doing what you always do. Stop it.
Yeah. I want to see those pictures with like some guy running in the background, like just, like the seaweed that's actually on the beach.
The whole time I'm like, you're going to stain that.
Yeah. Olin knows portraits. What's up? Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Truffle, congrats on getting your second shot today. I hope you feel better and you don't get the results that a lot of people have had. I get my second one next week.
I got to tell you, I didn't have really any side effects at all. My arm was sore like it would be like a normal flu shot.
My arm is still sore from my original shot. It's not bad, but that area is very, like, it's still tender to the touch. So maybe, I don't know what that means. The chip that they put in me is in the wrong place.
We were actually talking about this, me and my husband, earlier this week, about the people that are putting magnets on their arms to try and see if they can find the chip. And it's like, you would get like metal poisoning at the level of magnet you would have to have for it to work like that through your skin.
These people need jobs. Or hobbies. They need something to do.
You'd be walking through your kitchen and find yourself connected to your refrigerator if the magnet was that powerful. Like, this is silly.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know where they would get that. like, what if the chip isn't magnetic? Duh. Like, there's a
Right.
lot of things on the planet that aren't magnetic. So why are you doing that? And if you thought they were actually implanting a chip in you, then why'd you go and get the vaccine in the first place? You know, you do have the right to not do it.
Well,
So-
my question always is why would they spend all of this money to put a chip in your arm when you voluntarily carry around a tracking device everywhere you go?
Called your phone. Absolutely. Yeah. What movie was that where they put chips in all the phones? Hold on, it's going to come to me. The Kingsman. Is that it? Yes. Have you seen that movie? With Samuel Jackson?
I don't know if I have or not.
Is it The Kingsman? Can't remember. Anyway, there's a movie where Samuel Jackson is the villain, and he's a super rich guy, and he's given everyone like free phones, but the phones have a chip in them that turn people into like killing machines because he's trying to lighten the population. He's trying to, and these are very sarcastic air quotes when I say this, so don't get offended, people. He's trying to Bill Gates the population. You know what I mean? So I don't even know what this movie is. I don't know why it's not coming to me.
It is Kingsman. You're right.
I thought it was, but then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm thinking of the plots and like, is that really it? I don't know.
Yeah. Just put it in the Tylenol or the aspirin.
Yeah, there you go. Have you ever heard that story about this was back in the 80s, maybe the early 90s, where there was a lady who was poisoning the Excedrin to try and kill her husband?
No, she did kill her husband, then she killed other people because she was like, I'll cover up that I killed my husband.
Right. So she was like poisoning all of the Excedrin on the shelves, and people were buying it out of CVS or whatever and dying. You know.
Yes. And wasn't it like her fish food?
Yeah. 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 Crazy
or
people.
not her fish food, maybe like for the water or something, right?
Yeah, it was the it was like the treatment for the tank.
Algae treatment.
Yeah. Which didn't that come up last year with COVID where that had stuff in like, hydrochloroquine, right?
Yes.
That was, same stuff. Don't do it.
And like that couple like went and bought some off the shelf at like for fish and like dosed themselves.
Oh my God, yes. Crazy stuff.
I'm like, look, preppers, we are not at that level yet.
No, we definitely aren't. I actually had a conversation with someone today who was talking about that pipeline hack. And she was like, did you know that there are people who can hack our grid systems right now and take out the entire grid in the United States? And I was like, yeah.
We were talking about that too, because like even the water, they can take out the water systems.
Yeah. And I mean, she's freaking out about it. She was like, we're not going to be able to eat. Like, you're not going to, and someone said, are you saying we should go get canned goods? And she's like, you're not going to be able to cook it. So like, you're not going to have anything. And I was like, yeah, well, generators until the gas runs out, I guess. But she seriously is at this point where she thinks that some other communist countries I won't name on stream are trying to take out our entire grid, and that we're going to end up being cave people, she said. Tell me if you subscribe to that conspiracy theory in the chat.
Yeah, one, if you think you're going to be a cave person.
Well, no. I think that I want to believe that we are smart enough as animals. We are intelligent enough beings that even if something like that happened, that we would be able to fix it pretty quickly, you know?
Yes. So, did you see that we are almost at 300 subs?
No. We are? Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice.
We're at 282, so we don't have that many to go to be at 300.
That is super fun. You know what we should do? We should do a giveaway whenever we reach 300.
That would be pretty cool.
What do you guys think? We should do giveaways. So I'm whenever I get home this week, hopefully my Shane Dawson mystery boxes will be home. Because I did order them and we've been talking about doing an unboxing on the channel for you guys. Because I have everything, not everything. I have a lot of the merch anyway. I'm pretty sure I did cheat and I watched Rich Lux's unboxing video to see what was in them. And they are different, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get stuff that's duplicates in those boxes. So maybe we can use some of that as giveaway. I definitely have some extras. And we could order some things off of Amazon for you guys. What do you think?
I could give away a pair of my flashy cat ear headphones.
Yes, cat ears from Sunshinery. Would you guys love that?
Yeah, it's like if we can get it to 300, that would be super cool.
Yeah. So tell all your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. That would be super awesome. And then we will, as soon as we hit 300, we will do a giveaway for everybody.
And you know what? We might even just do a giveaway every 100 subs till we hit 1,000.
Yeah, we could give cat ears away every 100 subs.
And then do a big, massive giveaway at 1,000.
Cool. Awesome. So please subscribe, leave comments, make sure you like the videos. Come hang out with us on Wednesdays and Fridays. We're always here for you.
Check out our fundy videos. We're getting better at them.
Yeah, we are. We are getting better. We gotta work on a couple more. But they are getting, and Stacy's done a really good job with her Breaking a Child series.
And I do think that that's going to be chapters 3 and 4 this week because the chapters were really small.
Yeah. Well, I actually think that those books that I have, the No Greater Joy books, are just like chapters of To Train Up a Child. It's like the same stuff in them.
I just want to hear your rendition of the honeymoon night.
No.
I've got to.
It's so traumatic.
Did you go watch it?
Yes, I watched it and I can't. Like, it's the trauma that I experienced having to watch that was.
And the way her partner reads it.
Oh, that was my Siri. Sorry, guys.
The way her partner reads the Michael Pearl part, it's just amazing.
I know. I love the Jen and I group. Jen is great. All of her videos on fundies are fantastic. And she usually finds just really, really good stuff in there. So some of them I've laughed through because of the things that she said. And then there's some that are just really hard to watch because of how abusive or how horrible these cults are to people and to children.
Well, it's funny because she jokes about stuff that's okay to laugh at. It's never stuff that you have to feel bad about laughing at later.
Right. I mean, if I could say one thing about Fundy Fridays, is that she has an immense amount of class and dignity when it comes to covering a story. She is on point when it comes to being empathetic to a situation. She is always mindful of feelings and people's triggers, and even very slight triggers. Jen is very mindful of that. I really appreciate the way that she goes about her videos. We don't want to copy her, but we do get inspiration from her because her videos are so good. And we also, Stacy and I are both fundy nuts fanatics that I love to talk about Christian fundamentalism and cults. So, you know,
Are you starting with the Kingston clan? Is that the one that?
yes. So this one's that's probably going to be a several part series, the Kingston clan, because it's so intense. There's so many different like stories with the Kingstons and what's been happening with them. And this is like that group is a true picture at why polygamy is dangerous, and what they're doing to like defraud the government, and like and they treat the women and children really poorly in the cult. Like that is a really good picture of it, more so than like what you see on the Browns, like Sister Wives and all that. That's not real. Like what you see with the Kingstons is much more like what polygamist groups actually are, and it is terrifying. So more to come on that. We are going to do videos on a series on that one, and then we'll have some more goodies coming out for you guys really soon.
Yeah, and Truffle, I'm about to link you. This is her special on Jill Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, she did like a Halloween special on Jill.
Yeah. Yeah, Funny Fridays has it. She's good. But I guess that means we're ready to wrap it up for tonight, huh?
Yeah, I think so. We've been on here an hour and a half, chatting with everybody. So I got my anger issues out about craft moms and guys that don't work buying $900,000 houses.
Yeah, and I guess the note I'm going to leave it on is let's remember that we can't become the thing that we hate. Try to be better and do better.
Absolutely. Great words to leave the night with. So, everybody, I know we've said it before, but please make sure you like and subscribe, leave us a comment, join us on Discord. Come hang out with us there. We love it there. So, all the links are in the description. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening.
Alexi, y'all have a great night, and thank you so much for joining us.